So I have my mark, I'm going to drill through. I pulled the cabinet away from the wall. Okay, we have a hole. Now I'm going to drill 4 holes and make marks. Okay, we broke through to the other side. Now we can remove the bottom screw. So in order for this anchor to go through, I have to choose a bit that is big enough for the diameter of that part there. We remove the anchor, the screw from the anchor, and then we push. There's teeth here on the anchor. Those teeth dig into the wall and prevent the anchor from spinning when you're installing the screw. We need to install these anchors. So this bit I like to go with that's just a little bit smaller. And hitting it with a hammer. So we're installing a cabinet in the bathroom. This is going to require finding a stud and determining a spot on the wall. So I'm going to walk you through the steps of how we're deciding where to put it. First thing I need to be concerned about is the wall that we're putting it on is where a stud is. So I use my stud finder to identify a stud that's in line with where we want to put it. Now this is an old stud finder. It's not that reliable. I do need to get a new one. And the way the stud finder works, okay, we find the edge, and you can see there's where the other edge of the stud is. Stud's 1.5 inches wide. You can see I have it marked here between these points. Now I used a reference point to determine how far that was, and the way I did that was measuring from the edge of the wall. I can see that the middle of the stud is about 15 inches. So that's my reference point. We have an outlet here, don't want to obstruct the outlet, and we have the cabinet below. So do we put the cabinet in line with the face of the cabinet, or do we center it within the cabinet top, the vanity top here, or do we center it in line with the entire wall here? We decided to center it in line with the wall. So how we center it is we measure the length of the wall, 31.5 inches, and then we subtract from that the width of the cabinet. The cabinet's 18 inches. It's 13.5. Divide that by 2. So we center this cabinet 6 3/4, and then we can see on this side we're also 6 3/4. So now we know our cabinet's centered. The back of the cabinet has a reinforcing MDF here that is stapled, so this gives it extra beef. When I screw through, we want to make sure that we're within this space, and that's both the top and the bottom. This type of screw to screw through and in the middle into a stud. Then lastly, the bottom middle hole I'll drill. Now how do I determine the bottom middle hole? So I measure from the corner of the wall. See here, I'm measuring from the corner of the wall. The center of the stud is 15 inches. So I need to get to 15 inches. Well, I can measure here. I need to get this to 6 3/4. Okay, so that's about 6 3/4. Close enough. So the inside measurement here is 7 1/2. Well, guess what? This works out perfect. Because 7 1/2 times 2 is 15. So now I only need to measure inside 7 1/2 and put a mark. Tells me where I can drill this hole, but then I have to worry about that. Remember that back plate I showed you, MDF? I have to make sure I'm within that 3 1/4 inches of that MDF vertically from the top of this.